Oh wow, it's me filming multiple videos because I currently have a moment where I can do that and the sun isn't gone yet, so I have lighting. Also, like, what is me trying to make videos? But like, I'm trying to stop putting everything off and dropping out from making things because that's something that I do. And what I end up doing is just like making a bunch of stuff and then sitting on it and waiting for perfect times, and perfect times don't exist, so then they don't do anything. And now I just have, you know, a hard drive full of things that I never did anything with. And then I am on to new ideas and new moments, so they're not even that relevant to me anymore. So like I should have just done something with them when I had the idea and wanted to do it and made it. But that's just like more of a me thing. That's just like me more talking to me. That's more specific. Anyways.
That's not even particularly related to what I was about to just think out loud about.
Throw up an intro. Oh wow. Oh wow. She's talking about things. Cool. And stuff. And whatever comes to mind. Enjoy the mess. Psh. Okay, so I'm just like talking off the top of my head. But I was kind of thinking about something that my friend Clover here on the internet said a little while back about wearing makeup in public. So like I said, I am staying at my mom and grandmother's house. I'm helping out with my grandmother, who is recovering really well from having major heart surgeries after a heart attack, and taking care of the house and then cooking and cleaning and going to appointments and stuff. And I'm here to also help my disabled mom and all that fun stuff. So I'm in a different place. Where I live and have lived is very rural. And this is in town, if you will. It's in the small city, if you would even call this a city. It's not. It's still the middle of nowhere, North Carolina. I digress. Where I live and have lived, there's like only a couple neighbors. It's not a neighborhood. There aren't people. There's no stores nearby. You literally have to drive a half an hour to get anywhere. Here is in the center of where you have to drive to get somewhere. And there's neighbors everywhere because they're like small house apartment situations. And there's people everywhere. There's people all around all the time. And like I said, I'm going to doctor's appointments with my grandmother, and I have to go to the store and like grocery shopping, like walking the dogs out multiple times a day, all day and all night. So therefore, I'm in public a lot more than I'm used to. And that is quite the adjustment because like I have much anxiety, and that includes social anxiety. There's multiple levels to the different types of anxiety that I have without getting into too much. But like I have normal like general social anxiety of like, ooh, people, and then I have more like targeted social anxiety of being hyper vigilant, hyper aware at all times. And like that's not really great to deal with when, you know, you gotta walk your dog at night and you're alone. And you know, your dog's barking at people and I'm like, okay, they're chill, they're over there, it's fine. But like making a spectacle, you're barking, you're making me spike even though you're like also being hyper vigilant and trying to protect me, and like it's really cute, but like also you're low-key giving me a panic attack and like we don't need to be doing this. Cool. Also like during the day walking your dog and just like getting catcalled by cars driving by is a lot when you're like, I'm already super anxious. Not to mention the like giant pickup trucks, presumably driven by white supremacist garbage, who like to rev their engines as they drive by to, you know, just give you a nice little wave of I'm dying currently and I need to leave my body and this planet. So like anxiety has been really great. It's been a lot. Also, you know, going to the hospital all the time for cardio therapy with my grandmother in public a lot. And with that, it's a very two-sided thing. Like I'm very split. There's quite the duality to it all. Because on one hand, me pushing myself to be in public more often makes me aware that I'm able to push through and I don't have to listen to the social anxiety that says don't leave your house. Like I can go out and I can make it back and survive. I know how to cope and push through feeling like I'm dying all the time. I know that I know how to do that because I have to do that when I'm in the house too. But I'm aware that I can go into public and it look like I am interacting with everybody normally and it's a very chill interaction. Everything is fine, even though I might be like not present, but I know I can do it and I know I can push through that. And that's good because it's pushing me out of my comfort zone and it's making me maybe a little bit less anxious every time I have to leave the house. because I have this proven track record of not dying. So that's pretty cool. On the other hand, what's happening is it's kind of like the anxiety is always present. So like that's the duality. On one hand, it seems like it might be good because it's pushing me to face it and deal with it. But on the other hand, it's pushing me to face it and deal with it constantly. So it's a weird situation. And as someone who also doesn't want to be stuck at home all the time forever, and once I am finally moved out of North Carolina and the garbageness, and once I'm able to go get a job, I would like to go, you know, work and have a job that's not just taking care of the house and everybody in it, you know? Just a concept. Have some moments outside of the home, you know, have more places to have to turn looks, because that's life. So like, in a sense, I guess it's good that I'm getting more used to having to be in public, but it's a lot to deal with on me. I'm not, you know, we're just having an anxiety talks. Anxiety, we're not even gonna get too into the anxiety. Also, sorry if me talking about my anxiety isn't great for your anxiety. I understand. So what I wanted to get into, this was just kind of the intro to what I wanted to get into, if you could imagine a mess. So with being in public more, the way that my anxiety outside of the social anxiety is relating to dysphoria and the initial thing of not wearing makeup in public is very interesting, and that's another duality, which is really odd. So I am very privileged in the sense that I typically pass, and I'm not usually misgendered in public. Like, that doesn't happen to me. I go places and they're like, is this your granddaughter? It's pretty chill. It's all good. It's whatever. But also being in public more often while I'm not being misgendered. So that's giving what you would assume would be like validation of some sort of like, oh, I need to worry less about this because nothing is happening. It's all very chill. No one's saying anything. Everyone is giving me side eyes because I'm not white, even though I'm pale. That's another privilege. I am a jumble of thoughts, and this is probably not that easy to follow. Sorry. So you would assume that that would make you feel less dysphoric because no one is calling you out on anything. The only side eyes I'm getting is because I'm Asian and because she thick, and she will wear things that show a body. It is what it is. I don't care. But you would assume that that would make dysphoria like more chill. But I find what happens is being in public, at least for me, more often makes it want to be like hyper aware because you have to be on it at all times. I don't know what that's about because like not really having bad reactions and such. But that dysphoria though, she don't care. Not at all. The brain doesn't care at all. The brain doesn't care for you. The brain doesn't care for me. It just doesn't care. So it's a weird situation. Like I said, it's a strange duality. On one hand, it's chill. On the other hand, spiraling into the abyss. But that could also be the subtitle for my memoir. So take that as you will. I don't even have too much of a direction to go with this. I'm just kind of talking in general, talking aloud to myself. This is a fun conversation. I know it's a conversation because I'm talking to myself in front of a camera while occasionally looking at myself in the viewfinder. So that makes it a conversation because I see someone talking. It just happens to be me. Right, back to the makeup. So with passing and what I guess would be what is like their validation and stuff of not being misgendered and all that funness, there's the weird need to, I don't want to say keep up a facade, but like keep it on lock at all times. Like the only thing you have control over to some degree is your presentation and the way you look. So being on it at all times and feeling the extra need to be on it at all times.
You gotta have that face. She's beat. Even though I do the same thing every single day. You gotta have an outfit. You know, you gotta have a walk. You gotta have...
Which isn't even true. But with passing more and getting less of the stares and the comments and the whatever, getting treated less like trash, that makes you, even subconsciously, but I overanalyze everything so I notice it. Maybe it's in the vein of like assimilation, of wanting to have the full presentation at all times, or else you feel very uncomfortable and out of control and like nothing is in your hands and who knows how things will be today or tomorrow. Like, you know? Do you know? I don't know, because you can't respond. It's just like a hot mess. And this could obviously be, this could go way deeper, dive deeper. But if we're honest, for it to have like a conclusive thought and make too much sense, I would need to have a free writing session first and fully think about it. But here I am, just speaking. So yeah, that's just some things that I have noticed. I don't know if anyone can relate. There's like a weird pressure when it comes to femininity and the idea of femininity and what it means to be a femme in this very cis-het patriarchal world, to mold yourself to beauty standards and hold them up. And it's very obvious that the more you try to adhere to those beauty standards, the better you get treated. And the less garbage you have to swim through, just scraping at the scum with broken nails. So there's a weird pressure to fit it. For me, at least, I notice that I always have to like regularly sit back and think on it. Just think on it. Have a moment to re-examine. Is this just a simulation? Is this just trying to mold to a beauty standard that you don't believe in? Which is also typically like a thin Eurocentric beauty standard. Which is also very like cis-het and like it don't add up for like me. And also the beauty standard tends to be like thin and able-bodied and like a mess. So like yeah, like I don't even want to be part of that. But then there is the pressure to adopt it to at least some degree. And I just have to always be like, do I like this for reals? Or do I like it because it's considered liked? But at the end of the day, I kind of just like things because they're cute and I do like them. And I think I'm cute. So like, that's chill. I don't know what the conclusion of this was. I don't like to go out without makeup. We got there in the end. The more that I'm considered passing and the less issues I have around that, the less I'm willing to leave the house without makeup and being presentable. Because it's kind of like you don't want to give that up. Once you are treated a little bit less like trash, that's a hard thing to give up. Why would you walk back into oppression? Which is very like trash. That's such a garbage mentality and it's very privileged, and I don't know if I would say that that's like rooted in, I don't know if that's like rooted in entitlement. I don't think that that's the same thing, because that's not really the same situation, because everybody is entitled to be treated like a human. And if you have to jump through extra hoops to be treated like a human, that's just trash. So once you're jumping through the hoops, I guess maybe it's easier to continue, you know, being a gymnast, going through these hoops and to not lose momentum rather than have to try to do it all over again. I don't know. I don't really know where I'm going with this. So yeah, that was just me talking aloud without much purpose, without too much of a plan. That was just me talking aloud. This is probably going to be a long video because that's what happens when I don't at least try to pre-form my thoughts. So I'll let you go, you know, have a great day, night, whatever. We come in peace, and we would also like to destroy the patriarchy. That might not be so peaceful, but the end result will be so. Subscribe for new videos whenever they get posted. Social media, grab in the description. Okay, bye. That was probably so long. I am so sorry for you. If you made it this far.
Leave the emoji that's like, you know, the little square and it's like light gray blue and it just says okay. Leave that in the comments if you made it this far.
Okay.